On a crisp autumn morning in a small Oregon town, the local park followed its usual quiet routine. Golden leaves drifted across empty pathways, and the air was completely still. That morning, however, the routine was broken by a small disruption. A tiny squirrel sat rigidly on the ground beneath a massive oak tree, refusing to move. The squirrel was acting strangely. As pedestrians walked by on the paved path, the animal would dart toward them, stop in the grass, and then immediately run back to the base of the tree. Watching this repetitive, frantic behavior, parkgoers assumed the animal was sick or suffering from an injury. Concerned for the creature's safety, onlookers eventually called animal rescuers to the park to capture and treat the squirrel. But as the rescuers arrived, they realized they weren't dealing with a routine wildlife rescue. They had walked into the middle of a hidden medical emergency. The situation changed when a local jogger looked at the squirrel's repetitive movements and recognized an intentional, desperate pattern. Curious, the jogger stepped off the main path and followed the squirrel around the wide trunk of the oak. There, hidden behind the thick roots and out of sight from the walkway, lay an elderly man named Walter. He was completely unconscious. The jogger immediately called 911, and the quiet park was soon filled with the sound of sirens as a rescue operation began. Paramedics arrived within minutes and began treating Walter for a life-threatening medical crisis right there on the grass. Without the squirrel's persistent presence acting as a beacon, Walter likely would have remained invisible to everyone passing by on the path. To understand the stakes, look at the rescue window. This marker indicates the exact moment Walter collapsed. He lay there for nearly 60 minutes. During this time, his condition deteriorated, and the window for successful recovery closed fast. While he was alone, the squirrel remained near Walter's side, moving only to intercept pedestrians and draw them toward the tree. Doctors at the hospital later confirmed that if Walter had been found even a few minutes later, his body would have reached a point of total failure. The squirrel's behavior provided the jogger the information he needed to find Walter while his condition was still treatable. A few weeks later, a fully recovered Walter returned to the park, walking back to the same oak tree where he had collapsed. To his surprise, the same squirrel appeared from the branches, cautiously approached him, and sat nearby. A witness nearby recorded this interaction on a phone and posted the video online. Within days, millions of people across the country had watched the footage, turning a local park encounter into a national story. The story resonated because it challenged the assumption that the animals in our local parks are indifferent to what happens to the people around them. Walter felt a deep sense of gratitude for the animal that stayed with him during the hour he was most vulnerable. He now visits the park every morning, bringing a handful of nuts to share with the small friend that saved his life. Heroes arrive in many forms, often proving that even the smallest creatures can possess the courage to save a life.